They're swing.
Welcome back inside the Alex G. Spano Center. Welcome to Pacific Courtside Live. Zach Bayrudy along with Bob Thomason. Glad to have had you with us as this one has gone final. The Pacific Tigers 78, the Loyola Marymount Lions 72. So Pacific defeats LMU here at home, and both teams are now even in league play at 1-1. I'm Zach, he's Coach T, and great to have you with us on the WCC network if you're tuning in as well. Coach, this was a gut check game for the Tigers. They were undermanned without Sam Freeman, without Donovan Williams, facing a team in LMU that came off a 20-point win to open league play on the road against a tough Portland team. And the Tigers really came out with good energy. LMU led only once, and it was a 2-0 lead. LMU kept on pushing. They got it to within one. Tigers held the line. And I thought this team showed great resilience today.
Yeah, they did. I mean, anytime you're up 16 and you're only up one late in the second half, you think might get away from you, but the Tigers just held and kept on, and they did a great job driving the ball to the basket the last 4 or 5 minutes. They shot really free throws, and they shot the free throws really well tonight, 21 for 24. Loyola did not shoot the three very well. They didn't shoot their free throws very well. That gave the Tigers a good chance. And the Tigers turned the ball over too much, especially in the second half. And they didn't have as many assists because they were driving the ball to the basket, but they played a really good game. And sometimes, you say, well, they lost two guys to start, but they don't, Williams does play quite a bit. Edwards really doesn't play half the game. Mm-hmm. But sometimes tighten the rotation up, to me, makes more continuity to how they played, and they played great tonight.
If you're LMU, what are you lamenting after this game?
Well, you just couldn't get two on the road trip. Road trips are hard. I mean, to go up to Portland and they play as well as they played, and they're feeling good about themselves. And it's a long travel from Portland to Stockton. Play a 2 o'clock game. You don't have all day to get ready. And Pacific hasn't done well. Got beat by 20, and so they just had a little not the proper time, and they didn't play as well as they needed to play. And then they tried to regroup it, but every time they did it, they either missed a free throw, or the Tigers made a big play. And the Tigers made some great plays today. I thought Blake hit 2 threes that were tremendous shots that the Tigers needed during that time.
Yeah, Tigers had their big-time players step up when they needed it most. And let's take it through the numbers as we await the arrival of head coach Leonard Perry. We'll start with Pacific. Nick Blake, a career high, 23 points, 7 of 14, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. And, Coach, you and I have talked about it. I mean, Nick played for 28 minutes in this game, and those are the type of minutes you really like him to have. You've seen him play like 10 minutes and 14 minutes and so on and so forth. But a good chunk of minutes today, 28 minutes, and he really showed what he can give you when he gets
he's tough to guard.
Solid
he's
chunk
hard
of time.
to guard. Now, is he going to do a couple things that you don't like? Probably. But, I had a couple players that did those things too, and I had the first time they made a mistake, I clapped my hands, and the second time I went down and got a drink of water. I just sure hoping it wasn't the third time so I had to take them out. But sometimes you give guys a little rope, you know what I mean, and they're going to play well. But they needed him tonight, and he stepped up big.
Yeah, so Blake led the way, 23 points, and led all scorers with those points. One of 3 Tigers in double figures, 11 points for Jordan Ivy Curry on 3 of 9. He was 5 of 5 from the free throw line. And then 10 points for Keelan Boone on 4 of 7. Boone 1 of 2 from the floor and 1 of 2 from the line. Boone also had 4 rebounds. There were a bunch of Tigers who had 4 rebounds, which were tops. And Boone, Denson, and Ivy Curry were those guys. So those are the 3 Tigers in double figures. And then 7 points apiece for Luke Avdalovic on 2 of 4. Luke 1 of 1 from 3. And then 7 points for Tyler Beard on 1 of 2. He was 5 of 5 from the line. 6 points for Judson Martindale on 3 of 6. Juddy did that without making a 3-point bucket. So 6 points for Martindale. 5 points apiece for Greg Outlaw on 2 of 3, including a 3-pointer. Mo Odom had 5 points on 2 of 4, and Mo also had 4 assists in this game. 4 points for Cam Denson on 2 of 3. Denson a good chunk of minutes today, 15 and a half minutes he played in this game. And Makai Richards, the only Tiger that saw the floor that did not score. Richards played for just over 2 minutes and did not attempt a shot. The Tigers in the first half, 14 of 28 from the floor. Second half, 12 of 24. So that means the Tigers are 50% from the floor in this game.
Yeah, really good shooting.
Yeah, 5 of 14 from 3, 36% if you're rounding up. And from the line, 21 of 24. And the Tigers really shined from the free throw line in this game. As we're joined by Leonard Perry, always kind enough to join us on Pacific Courtside. I'm sorry, Coach, I tried to steal your water there. You probably need that. Hey, this was a great bounce-back win for your team. And if there was one word that I would use to describe, and I was just talking with Coach, it'd be resilience. In more ways than one. I mean, you're undermanned in this game without Donovan and without Sam. You're coming off of a 20-point loss to BYU. You're coming off of the travel snags that you talked about the last post game, and you're also in a game where you had a 16-point lead. LMU whittled it down to 1, but your guys really held the line at that point. I thought resilience was the theme for you guys today.
Yeah, Zach, I don't know any other adverbs or adjectives or nouns or pronouns to add to it. I would agree with you. You know, the kids are embracing some adversity, and I thought they really responded. The thing I was most impressed with was how we defended in the first half. I thought it was outstanding. I just thought it was outstanding. You know, and you know they made some shots and got to the free throw line. I understood that, but we really defended well in the first half, and we were leading. Matter of fact, as I see here, we won the rebounding war, but we were winning the rebounding war at half. So I was proud of that effort. And then offensively, kind of thought about what Coach said the last time against BYU, which, you know, we didn't play very well for a myriad of reasons. But the one thing I tried to do coming into this game was to scale down, kind of putting the kids in a certain motion that we have that kind of leaves them almost, maybe they're feeling helpless on some of those bad shots, not knowing what to do. So we had more set calls tonight, a lot more set calls, and I thought the kids were more comfortable offensively. They really worked at it and got the ball reversed, and we got to the basket a lot, got to the rim a lot in the first half, and I thought that opened things up for us.
I thought Nick Blake obviously was outstanding. A career-high 23 points, and a big chunk of minutes for Nick today, 28 minutes and 23 points. Can you just reflect on his performance?
You know, he's he's still maturing. You know, he's a young man that's trying to find his way, and on a given night, he can do things like this. On other given nights, you know, he can struggle out there. But tonight he got it going. I thought he got to the basket early. I think that gives him confidence as opposed to settling for you know, some tough threes. I thought we were 1 for 7 for 3, and I thought Nick had some good looks in the first half, and I had no problems with it. I had absolutely no problems.
He made 2 big threes in the second half.
Yes,
I know
he
that
did.
for sure.
Yes,
you know,
he did.
Those really helped.
Yes, he did.
But he reminds me of a player I had. I talked to him this week, Robert Richardson, and I've always said that Robert would do some goofy things, and he had a big heart. He played his tail off, and you need him to play well. So I had to just, when he made a mistake, just clap my hands, say, "Good job, Robert." And he made the second one. I go down and get a drink of water, and I was hoping he didn't make the third one. And then when he did, we got to the point where he could play through things.
Yeah.
He played really good. So it's you know, you just got to keep the good players out there as much as you can. And I thought the rotation was great. I thought, you know, everything was good. You know, Curry fouls the 3 and he comes out. Well, Luke fouls the 3 and he stays in. So, I mean, you know, there's a little, I'd be talking to my coach if I was a player there. But you know what? I thought Curry really helped you the first half.
Really
he did
helped.
a great job.
Really helped.
And I thought Denton played really good the first half. He was blocking shots,
really did.
rebound. He was
He
tough
really
out
did.
there.
He really
and
was.
I just think when you keep those guys, you know, they say about having injuries. Well, tightens up the rotation.
Yes, it
guys
does.
play a little better together.
Yes, it does.
And I thought you did a great job of that. And Boone, you know, I don't like sitting guys out the whole half with 2 fouls. I never did.
Yeah.
But when I was ahead, I would.
Yeah.
And you were ahead the whole first half. You
Yeah.
kept Boone there with the foul situation. That was great. So.
Yeah, I did not trust, in my experience with Keelan, that he would not pick up the third. I was uncomfortable.
Well, if I was
with
leading,
that.
I would do that. When I wasn't leading, I'd play guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then down the stretch, we got to 5 minutes to go in the game. Hey, what do you want to do? I don't know, except for the reverse layup when he got fouled. He shot everything but free throws. You know, I think if you look at the last 4 minutes, every shot was a free throw.
Yes, it was.
And to me, that's the best way to win.
Best way to win.
That's the best way to win.
win.
Now, you can't do it all the time.
No.
You have to take some shots.
No.
But when you can get to the free throw line and
It's the
set
greatest
your defense
equalizer.
up and do that is good. Except for the maybe the 2 foul and the 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
the one bobble in the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than
yeah.
that, he played pretty good.
Yeah.
Coach, what were you able to take away from LMU today? They've been a very potent team. Obviously, they ran Portland out of the gym at the Childs Center on Thursday. But what were you able to take away from them?
That's a good basketball team. That's a good basketball team. They're well coached. They're tough. They can, and the thing that's most impressive is they can take their show to any court and get it done. They've won some big games this year. They've beat some people. They beat Wake Forest on a neutral site. They've beaten some really good teams. They beat Nevada. That's a good basketball team. They are good. Trust me when I tell you that. I know Stan. He does a great job. I thought our kids played well tonight. We beat a really good basketball team, kind of reminiscent of the San Jose. And the BYU was an offshoot. And one thing I can promise you is when we go to Provo, we'll play a lot better. We will put a really good game on their floor and give ourselves a chance to win that game there. And I think our kids will be looking forward to it. But in 24 hours, the way they bounce back, their resiliency, all the credit goes to them. This is about them, not about me. It's about them.
One thing about it, if they don't play well, they're not going to win. So they're going to have to play well. So
have no choice.
it's clarity sometimes saying, well, you know what? We can't take a night off. We have to go out there and do our thing. And they have different guys. They have different guys that can score. And that's kind of makes it hard sometimes
It does.
to sub. But
It does.
you just got to go to people that can score.
It does.
Martindale made a couple drives. First couple he went to, and he made one. He missed a couple.
Yeah.
But the last one or two, his last step was off 2 feet. I just think you're so much more powerful going to the basket when you can kind of jump off 2 feet rather than one.
I've always felt that way.
Keeps that balance a little more. It seems like the ball always comes out.
You got a better chance for the and one because you got more strength.
And if you get fouled, you don't get hurt too. You get
You're not
fouled, you
falling
come down rather than
I agree.
Coach, how big was this from a standpoint of now you got to take the show on the road?
Yeah.
And you had the tough loss 2 nights ago. To come back with this win at home, not only do you establish home court and league, but you get to go on the road now with a 1-1 record and with some momentum, some juice going into San Diego.
Well, I think as we've proven this year, this team loves to be on the road. They enjoy being on the road more than they do playing at home. They love being on the road. They do. So they'll be looking forward to it. I can guarantee they'll be looking forward to it. They'll be up for it. And all the teams in our league are really good, but this group will be up for it. I don't even know who we have first. Who do we have first?
San Diego.
Yeah, they'll be up for it. They love going on. I don't know what that is, but they love going on the road, competing. They just do.
Well, they were inspired by the cold in North Dakota.
Yeah,
it was
they were. They were.
Quick before I let you go, do you have a prognosis on Sam and on Donovan?
I don't know how long Sam's is going to be. Donovan is saying, he's going to give it a go Thursday for sure.
That's good
and
news.
Like Coach said earlier, when you have these games and guys kind of step up, those injuries heal a little quicker, just a little bit. Things start to heal a little bit quicker there.
Times aren't the same. Hey, go put some aspirin on it, baby. You'll be ready to play. You know what I mean? And so, you have to define injury and being hurt.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the flagrant foul, right? They're checking for the flagrant over there.
I know.
I'm like, tell that to Bill Lambier.
I go, what? I mean, he did reach in there. He stopped him from scoring.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You were kind of begging for it a little.
I'm going,
hey,
sure
come on,
was.
Leonard. Give me that old school
That's
stuff.
my job. Absolutely, I was begging for it. No question.
Hey, Leonard, Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year, you guys.
Glad you get to bring it in on a positive note
Yes, sir.
tonight,
I
man.
appreciate you guys.
All right, Head Coach Leonard Perry, always kind enough to join us on Pacific Courtside Live. Is again the Tigers with a big home win today, 78-72 over LMU. We are going to finish the numbers here real quick, as Coach mentioned. The Tigers won the rebounding battle 33-31. Turnovers, LMU turned the ball over 13 times. Tigers got 9 points off of turnovers. This is where the Tigers are going to have to clean it up. 18 turnovers for the Tigers, and LMU 23 points off of turnovers. And there are going to be a lot of nights where that's just not going to fly.
No, I think there's a couple things. One, I think when Beard and Curry get more established, they were playing early in the year and then they're kind of been off. They'll cut those down, but I don't think either one of those guys turned the ball over that much. I think then having them be able to get out there at the end of games and play together, because you have two ball handlers, two guys that can make free throws, that'll help. And they have to learn from that. So turnovers are, to me, always a sign of weakness. You know what I mean? You don't have to turn the ball over, and you got to know what to do and how to do it, and take care of it, because they cannot turn the ball over like they did, tonight. Expect to win. I mean, too many times.
Points in the paint even at 40, despite the Tigers being undersized. 40 points in the paint, which I thought was pretty good.
I thought Lyle did a poor job of helping off drives. I mean, Tigers, some of the players are going to drive the ball to the basket. They didn't clog that up enough. I mean, Tigers took 14 threes, but they can make some threes, certain guys, but you still want them shooting threes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's maybe not Luke, you know what I mean? Maybe not Boone, but the rest of the guys, you'd want them to do that. And they got to the basket, and they caused fouls, and they shot free throws. And the Tigers won the free throw battle, and they won the shooting percentage battle. And they really battle on the rebounds to not to be slightly ahead or just hold their own.
Yeah, I thought they rebounded really well.
Yeah,
in this
they
game.
did a great job.
Second chance points, LMU 14, Pacific 6. Fast break points even at 4. The Pacific bench outscored the LMU bench 45-33. One tie, one lead change. It was 2-0 LMU, and they never led after that. They got what was a 16-point deficit to the Lions down to 1, but the Tigers again held firm with that. And LMU's best scoring run, a 10-0 run with about 5 minutes to go in the first half. The Tigers had a 9-0 run, and that was in the first 5 minutes. And last thought, Coach, I thought the Tigers set the tone in those first 5 minutes. They came out with the energy. They built it similarly to the one they had against BYU, but this time I think they parlayed that momentum into having more momentum throughout the course of the game.
I only saw a period of maybe a minute or two in the second half where they were a little, what's going on? But they didn't really do that the whole game. They kept on playing. And as good as the win is, if you really clean up clean up this and clean up that, a few fouls, 3-point shooters, that game could be 78-62 instead of 72. I mean, you can separate that score with this team, but you're going to have to really grind. It's going to be a grinding deal, not we'll just play a little better. No, it's got to be 18 turnovers, got to get to 9 turnovers. You know what I mean? And so it's hard work, but if they're all in it together and they can all do their little thing, and then allow people, it's like Luke tonight only had 6 points, but he allowed the other guys to play. And they guard him tight, which they're going to do, and that creates a lot of driving lanes, and that's great. Just pat your guy. We don't care who scores. We just want to score more than they do.
Well, when all is said and done, the Tigers a 78-72 win here at the Spano Center. So great home win for the Tigers, who will now go on the road to Southern California. We'll be at San Diego on Thursday. That'll be a 7 p.m. tip from Jenny Craig Pavilion. I'll have the pregame show beginning at 6:45 on Thursday, and then at Pepperdine a week from today. Coach, Happy New Year to you and Jerry and to the family.
And for all the fans out there, Happy New Year. And be safe tonight. Everybody, it's bad weather, and you know how people can be. Just be safe.
Well, you got your swim cap and your nose plugs to swim back home to Lodi. I mean, this is like we're underwater here.
I got a 4-wheel drive. I might have to put it on.
Yeah, I do too. Thankfully, got the elevation on the car. But yeah, it's raining, so please be safe if you're going out. But Happy New Year from all of us here. And that about does it for us on this New Year's Eve. Before we go, thanks so much to you, the fans, for tuning in. We do sincerely hope you enjoy each and every one of our broadcasts. I'd also like to thank the entire hardworking Pacific Tigers staff here in athletics. A special thanks to Henry Golden, the SID for men's basketball. Thanks to Michael January, who directs our television broadcast. His tremendous camera team brought you the pictures from inside the Spano Center. The executive producer for Pacific men's basketball on the radio is Mike Murray with iHeartMedia. My partner is the legend, Bob Thomason, and I'm Zach Bayrudy saying so long and Happy New Year from the Spano Center in Stockton. Again, our final score today, Pacific 78, LMU 72. We'll see you on Thursday from San Diego back here on Fox Sports AM 1280 and the iHeartRadio app. Happy New Year, and so long, everyone.